Let's keep talking about building yourself your money machine. To a large extent, your success in this project will come in and relate exactly to your ability to do these two styles of meeting. Now, and the style of meeting is first one is to get people in, and of course, the second was to keep. And there's a variety of ways and a variety of meetings you'll use, but these are all the same purpose. Now, the way to look at that is, it's a matter of how well you're able to do it, and this is going to be your money machine, so it's a matter of how well you're able to do it, design it, how exciting, and how much you're able to do to get people in and keep them in. That's going to relate to what kind of business you build. Do people want to be around you? Do they want to join you? Do they want to stay with you? Is it a plus to be in your world? Because let's face it, you're going to be the center of this world. And so it's your success at doing these meetings is going to be the key. One way of looking at it is like this. When you get a new person in, they are like a candle, or like what you're trying to do is get them on fire. You're trying to light their fuse. You're trying to get them where they're motivated inside. They have that internal motivation. They're not doing it because they're forced to or whatever. They're doing it because they want to. That motivation is, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times more powerful, because people will do so much more when they want to do it than if they're forced to do it. So the purpose of this meeting, the first one, the first meeting is all about getting them lit. Now, once that happens, you move into phase 2. And that is all of the second style of meeting is what you want to do is once that pilot light inside them is glowing, they're on fire, what do you want to do? What's the natural thing if you light a match or light a candle? That a wind comes along, blows it out, or, it runs its course. Well, what you want to do is you want to keep it lit. All right? Now, let me just back up all over here. When we're talking about getting, let's just take a minute. To get them, they're really lit and on fire. That pilot light is going. If you've got them in the frame of mind where they are, they're going to be, without having to nag them, harass them, even mention it, they're going to be cooperative. They're going to be willing, flexible to change their schedule. They're going to be coachable, because they know it's in their best interest. So they're going to be willing to work with you. They're going to be open to new ideas. They're going to want to learn. They're going to have a little buzz about them. They're going to be ready to rearrange. They're not going to fight you on rearranging their schedule, because they're going to realize this is in the process of changing their lives. That schedule, no matter what events they have on that schedule is part of what's got them the life they want. They want a better life. And so all of this stuff, by their response when you're asking them to do things and you're talking, it's really easy for them to pretend to have the lit pilot light until you ask them to do stuff. But when you ask them to do things, to come here, arrange this, move over here, just cooperate with you in any way, that's when you find out, is that pilot light inside on fire? Do they have that gleam? Are they as happy to work with you? Do they see themselves as part of that team? So that's how that goes. Now, once you get that going, that's a very precious thing. It's almost childlike, because it's like them becoming a new person. It's there's a sense where they're very naive. They'll believe what you tell them. So you got to be careful that you tell them the right things and that you live up to your commitments, because they trust you. They have like kids. They have a big trust that you have earned their trust. Now you can't violate it. Now so let's just say you really have that working, but what are the dangers? Now the dangers that come in is that they're going to go out. that you're there, that pilot light will go out. That's really what you fight. If they stay with you 3 days or 30 years, the main thing you're going to fight to prevent that from happening is that internal motivation goes out. And so everything you do in the second style meetings, these second meetings, we'll talk about more about that in a minute, is all designed to keep them lit and on fire and actually growing. Because if they're not growing, eventually they're going to go stale. They're going to burn out. Just like when you light a match. What happens with a match? A match, if you don't give it something else to burn on and grow, the fire to grow, it goes out. That flame goes out. And so you want to give them a chance to grow and expand so they can glow brighter and brighter. Otherwise, grow or die. That flame is either getting bigger or it's going down. That campfire is blazing hotter or it's starting to cool off. The second meetings are designed to keep that going. So let's take and look at the kinds of things talk about this second meeting. The second meeting, there's a variety of them. Second meetings may be, will be daily, monthly. You'll have a variety of them because you want to keep it interesting. You'll have quarterly type things. You'll have annual conventions and trips. Some will be with the company, some will be with your team, some will be in your industry. And so, there'll be, variety will come in one-on-ones. There'll be, again, like, the small group, the medium-sized group, the large group. They'll be oriented towards different types of things. They'll be oriented towards training. They'll have aspects that are motivated for activity. There'll be things for recognition. There'll be things for promotions. You'll have a variety of things you focus on inside these things. You'll have them for certain size groups. You'll have things that'll happen with everyone. You'll have things that will only be with the management teams. Then you'll have things that will only be with the senior management teams. And then you'll have one-on-ones with the top people where you're going off by yourself and you're giving them the private. So there's a wide variety of all of this that goes on, and all of this design is to keep that pilot light burning. So if you look back at the factory type approach again, see, these things don't happen by themselves. And again, to repeat, how good you are at doing it and how energetic and conscientious you are at keeping this going. And the volume that you do it relates to how much of a money machine you're going to build and maintain. How many people you're going to attract, quality of people you're going to attract, and keep going. So we talked about all this cloud of prospecting, variety of things you do to get people in. This is the first meeting. This is the prospecting, the recruiting, getting them oriented, and getting them in. The second meeting, and all of the variety of the second meetings, are to keep them going, keep the pilot light lit so they're active, so they can have the motivation to do the things that's going to cause them to not just once or twice, but to keep them continually moving through the system. Whereas if they will reach the most they can reach, and if they're good enough, they can move out and get their own operation, their own store, their own center, their own business. Make sense? And so really only two styles of meetings. Now, what is the main purpose? You can keep people motivated. In your second meetings, change my color, your second meeting, here are the main things you focus on. You focus on the things that's going to keep them energized and moving forward, and that is you want them to be able, the second meeting, depending on how fast your business is growing, And you want your business to grow. Now, if your business is growing, what does that mean? That means that you're adding new people. That means for every person, like here you are. When you come in, if you're in the Army, if you're a coach of a team, if you're a salesman selling something, if you're a daycare worker and you're taking care of kids in your house, you got only you doing the business. Now you want to grow your business. You want to take and expand this thing, profits. What are you going to do? You're going to add people in. You're going to add 1 or 2 people in, right? You're going to duplicate yourself. Now, what does that mean? That means now you get a chance to move to a little bit of a supervisor, but you have people that you supervise. So if you're if you're not fast growing, this is going to be, that might happen every 5 years or every 10 years. But if you're fast growing, it's going to happen as fast as possible. So once you get a good person in, you want to help them and challenge them is to get some people themselves underneath them. Now, you'll either leave that up to them to be in charge of that, depending on how your business is set up, or you will help them do it. And usually in the beginning, you're going to be helping them do it anyway. That's how you teach them how to do it. But it's like even Dell Computer. This is not just sales organizations that do this, but even corporations. Dell Computer grew so fast in the beginning because they incented their own people to go out and find new employees for the company, because that's how you find the best one, people to people. So you're talking to them about getting some people of their own. That's one of the things in a fast-growing company that you want to build your as quick as possible. For that to happen, this person you've got has got to get some people of their own, and they've got to get some people of their own. Now, so how does that happen? Well, that's one of the focuses of the meeting where you show them how to do it, and then you recognize who's doing it, and you focus on what they say, when they said it, and you keep all of the focus on, and you recognize the people that are doing it. You have awards and recognition for that. And so that's one of the things. It's basically 3 things, because these are the 3 main things that keep a growing organization really on fire, focused, moving forward. Then the other is paychecks. Paychecks, bonuses, things like that. How is it paying off? And this is especially true in the commission. That this is in commission world, you're showing them how it turns into money for themselves. You show for themselves and other people. We're not just running around working like crazy. People are making money. People are seeing this. We don't just talk, we deliver. The third thing that, third is what? Promotions. Now, of course, you have training. Training is always involved in this thing. But the main thing for you to turn into a money machine is not to train people who never do anything. It's to train in a way where people actually use the training. So the emphasis always needs to be focused on the things that will generate activity. And that's what these drive activity. And here's what happens. Activity produces knowledge. You want your people to be smart, to know the business, to have experience, to be really pros. They got to be active. You want it to be excited. Activity produces excitement. And so you've got to have your second meetings have all be at their core, be focused as their main purpose of driving activity, because activity will drive knowledge and drive excitement, attitude, and enthusiasm. So these are the 3 main goals of the second meeting. Hopefully soon I'm going to get into, and I'll do more of another video and give you more detail about things that specifics you can put inside these meetings, but this should be enough to get you going now.